there, welcome to Professor Pearl, a YouTube channel about knitting. I'm Nicole, and today we're going to talk tank tops. Tank top talk on my porch. It's a bright and sunny day. I am in the mood for summer things, sunny things, and so it's not surprising that I want to cast on a tank top. I have wanted to make a hand knit tank top for years now, and I just haven't. I think one of the obstacles is just starting. I've enjoyed sock knitting in the summer. I've enjoyed thinking of a big project I want in the fall or the winter. And so I think I prioritized those things and just haven't prioritized tank top knitting. And so I'm, shifting gears here, and I'm going to prioritize tank top knitting this summer, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm excited to make it. I'm excited to style it and see how it works in my handmade wardrobe. So I'm just going to share some of the patterns that I have been admiring. I've created a Ravelry bundle if you use Ravelry, and I'll link that below, of at least 30 patterns about tank tops. I'm not going to talk about all 30 today, but I will talk about different categories of tank tops and share some of the patterns I'm really admiring and loving. So the first category of tank tops I'm going to talk about are ones that I view as very professional, like something you could wear to the workplace. Like if you have I'm a professor, so something you could wear to a job like that, or something that has thicker straps, something that could be a good transitional piece from summer to fall, or even wearing it in the winter perhaps with a blazer or a sweater over it. So that kind of category of thicker straps / professional tank top. Then the second category that I'm going to talk about are tank tops that have very thin straps, or spaghetti straps, or camisoles, something that would be perhaps really nice in a sweater set. Like if you had a cardigan and a matching cardigan with a spaghetti strap situation, or it's something you could wear in a really, really hot day without a layer, and have your shoulders out and that kind of scene. And then the third category of tank tops I'm going to talk about are halter style tank tops. So thanks for watching, and let me know what tank tops you're interested in, especially if they're ones not included on this video. I'd love to check them out and see if I will put them in my bundle. One last thing before we proceed: all the tank tops I'll talk about today and all the ones that I will include in my tank top bundle will be size inclusive. I have to admit, I was really surprised and shocked at how many very popular tank tops are out there that are not size inclusive, and that maybe the largest size is an extra large or a double XL. So I'm not going to promote those or talk about those ones. I'm only going to talk about ones that I view as size inclusive. Okay, so the first one I'm going to chat about that I think would be a really good layering piece, something you could wear in the fall or winter even. Definitely I would wear this to work, is the Moon Crush tank. So I'm going to read the little couple sentences about the Moon Crush tank that come from the Ravelry description. Moon Crush is a cool, color-blocked simmer daydream of a tank designed for play in both knitting and the wearing. Which I can see that, because I can just see how this could be styled with linen pants, over a linen dress, over a cotton dress, over jeans, with a turtleneck, with it's so cool. And I'm definitely making this summer, and I have the yarn. And I think the other thing that's really fun is that there's a lot of flexibility in how you make this. So for the Moon Crush tank, you could go to your yarn collection, pick 3 skeins of yarn you have, 3 different colors, and play with those and see if they could put together, fingering weight of course, see if they could make a moon crush tank. But there's versions of this that have been knit that use only 2 colors. Instead of it being like 2 colors in the pop, it could be just 2 contrasting. So you'd need more skeins of yarn, but yeah. And then Jacqueline C. Slack also just recently came out with like the Moonless tank, which has a similar boxy feel, but without this like color blocking. Even though this is graphic and color blocking, I think it will like withstand the test of time. It's not, to me, it doesn't feel like a trendy color block. It's something that I can see myself wearing for many years, and I'm so excited about this. I've had 3 skeins of yarn that have wanted to be a 3-color project. They're Button Jar Blue, Paper, and Tomato from Madelinetosh. They're Madelinetosh Light Yarn. I've had them in my collection since 2013. And I know that because I started knitting a Stephen West shawl with those, and it was like a failed project. And so I'm going to be making the Moon Crush tank for sure. And I just think it's the perfect garment for work or layering or any just very flexible garment. Okay. The next one with thicker straps that I want to talk about is the Soho top. Okay, I feel, let me know if you agree with this, but I feel like garter is the most classic knit stitch, right? Yet it feels like it's trending right now. There's so many amazing garter shawls and garments that are coming out, and so though it's this like very fundamental piece of knitting, it's also this thing I just really see like having a moment. That being said, almost a year ago, August 2022, Cadre came out with this beautiful, very professional looking Soho top that is garter. And the cool thing about it is it almost has this boat neck feel. And the straps, though I'm calling them wide, aren't exceptionally wide. And then there's a little fun detail down the side. This looks like something that is made to be worn with a blazer. Like I can see myself teaching in this, presenting in this as a professor, like having garments that I can wear in a very professional setting are something I look forward to. And even if I didn't wear it in a professional setting, I can see wearing this out like on a date night or out with friends somewhere and it looking really stylish. And it's something I think that also looks super good on its own too. And it embraces this like garter moment that I feel like is happening right now too. Okay. My friend Anna from the Bluebird box has a couple of tank top designs. One is the Tennessee tank and one is the Seed Star tank. And the Tennessee tank first, I'll talk about this one. It has thicker straps, which I think is really nice for people concerned about their undergarments and maybe like not wanting to buy new ones or wanting to make sure that you don't see them. This tank top looks like it could be well designed for that. Also, the very cool thing about it is it's reversible. So there's this lace detail that's really gorgeous, and you can wear it in the back, which is probably how I would wear it if I'm being honest. But there's this like, you can flip it around and you can wear it the other way where the lace is in the front, and it's like a little bit more revealing that way. And I think it's genius to have a reversible tank top in that way, and it looks really cool. That one is actually knit at a worsted gauge. It looks like it's yarn held together, like Holst yarn held together. And so I know that that has like cotton and things like this, so maybe it's not like a thick worsted. Okay, the Seed Star tank, also designed by Anna from the Bluebird box, also has similar like thick straps. However, it's knit, this one is knit cropped, though you could knit it longer, I'm sure, and has a really sweet lace detail at the bottom. And I think that this one particularly looks the cropped version looks super cute over a dress or a skirt. I think it was like made for that moment. So anyway, I really enjoy both of those tank tops. I've already mentioned Cadre, and I'm gonna do it again, maybe 2 more times, the home camisole. This one looks like just a nice staple, a nice basic, classic, maybe I shouldn't use the word basic, very classic tank top that would be a nice layering piece and like really checks the boxes in terms of like, I think, longevity in your wardrobe. Like, it's just something that isn't trendy. Like, you will wear this as a 90-year-old. Yeah, especially if you knit it in a natural fiber that's going to last for a long time. Like, next I'd like to talk about the Remy camisole, also by Cadre. This is again a tank top with thicker straps with a V-neck, which is quite nice, and then ribbing. And you know, there's just something that really draws my eye about tank tops that use like a ribbing kind of motif. And so I think this is a really fun one, and again, very, very classic. This is knit with a DK yarn. I have a free tank top to talk about. This one is published by Purl Soho, and it's the tulip tank top. And it's called the tulip tank top because it looks like a tulip actually, and it is knit with a sport weight yarn, and the back of it kind of like flaps over, much like maybe the tulip petals would. And so it's got this really chic look because the back kind of comes up with like an open V in the back, but the front of it is this like kind of boat neck with like a little rolled neck. And I can just see this being a very professional piece and not something you'd have to worry about with your undergarments with it, which I think is really nice. And it's been out for a long time. Like, this was published June of 2014, so you probably already know about this. And it's got a lot of projects on Ravelry. Okay, I have a couple more tank tops to talk about with thick straps, and one is the Olive Tank by Sari Norland. It was published this April, so like just recently, and it is 2 light fingerings held together to make a DK, although I'm sure you could also use a DK if you wanted. And I'll read the description about it, a couple of sentences about it. The Olive Tank is knitted seamlessly from the top down. It is a minimalistic design which makes it perfect for everyday use and easy to use as a layering piece under a cardigan or a jacket. So yeah. Oh, so basically the pattern has 2 options for the back of the neck. One option where it's going to sit higher, and then one where it's going to sit lower and can show more of the back of your neck. Basically, it's recommended to use yarns that have drapes, so cotton, linen, viscose, things like that. The next tank top I'm going to share, I'm not exactly sure I would call a summer tank top, but it does fit my category of being a tank top and one with thicker straps, and that is the roll neck tank top. And that's because the reason why I said I'm not exactly sure that I'd call this a summer one is it says that you knit it with fingering and lace together. And so some of the people who have knit this tank top, the roll neck tank, have knit it with fingering and mohair together, and I just, mohair in the summer, just, I don't know. But it does kind of, you know, fit the bill of being a tank top with thicker straps. And you don't have to knit it with mohair. You can knit it with fingering and a lace together. That's not mohair. You could knit it, and that would give it a really nice kind of marl, but you could also knit it like with just a DK. Like, you don't have to do the fingering and the lace all together. So this one, very simple silhouette, however, like very classic details to it. I think it has this like collar on it, looks like it, oh, it's a rolled neck, but done right, I think that can look really nice. Oh, I was just reading the description on this, and it says use mohair for a perfect wintry tank top. I hadn't thought about the idea of a wintry tank top until this tank top, but I mean, you can have a wintry tank top. So yeah, if you're from the Southern Hemisphere, let me know. You can participate with a wintry tank top. So next we're going to talk about tank tops that have thinner straps. Maybe they're spaghetti straps, maybe they're not, but just tank tops that have thinner straps. The first one I'm going to talk about, I'm sure you've heard of, which is the outline tank. I have wanted to knit this for so long, like so long. This pattern was released March 2021, the outline tank, and I think I had applied to test this, and I had never tested it before. And I didn't hardly use Instagram at that point in my life. And so, yes, I very much so remember, I remember this tank top, and I've admired it ever since it came out, and I've owned the pattern for a while, but I haven't made time for it. This is the summer I'm making time for it, and have some really fun skeins of yarn for it that have some speckling on it. And I just think it's just, a lot of people have two hanks of yarn in their collection that they could use, or it's something you could fade some of your yarn in your collection for, or maybe your size is small enough you don't need two skeins like I do. But I think it's the kind of tank top that will look good in no matter what kind of yarn you have. If it's tonal, if it's variegated, if it's speckled, it's gonna look good. So slub is gonna look good. So it's very oversized, boxy. Looks like there's a special kind of like drop stitch kind of hole situation. So I'm really looking forward to trying that. I'm interested to see how I end up styling this in my wardrobe and see if I wear it a lot or not. We'll see. The Allure camisole by Cadre, I think this was one that you could knit in the summer, but it's also one I think you could do a fuzzier yarn with and also make it more of a wintry tank top. It's also has the spaghetti straps, but I think it could be worn alone, but it also would be just a very nice, dainty little camisole to wear underneath a cardigan or something. And the description on it says the Allure cami is a minimalistic top created using fingering weight cashmere and silk blend. So I think if you're using cashmere and silk, I think it's going to be warm. So I definitely would probably call this a fall or winter tank, but you could use a different fiber for it to be more of a summer. I mean, I'm not saying you can't wear cashmere all year long. If you want to wear cashmere in the summer, that's fine, but it tends to be a really warm fiber. If I was not knitting the outline tank and I was looking for a pattern to cast on that had spaghetti straps, I think it would be this one, and it is the Lazy Daisy crop. I love it. You don't have to put the daisies on it. It looks good by itself, but the daisies, so sweet, and it just looks like something that I would probably really enjoy wearing or have fun playing with, putting these daisies on it. I could see it being really fun to go through my mini skeins or leftovers I had, or if there's a certain special yarn I had, I might enjoy making the daisies out of those. So I really, really like the Lazy Daisy crop. I've admired for a long time, and I don't know if I'll ever make one. Let me know if I should. But it is something I admire, and I really love the way they look on other people, is the ripple bralette. I think one of the things holding me back on the ripple bralette is just not knowing how I'd wear it or style it. It doesn't seem like something I would wear on its own. But it looks so good. And I love it when people make them and they look really fun. And yeah, so maybe I will make one day. And it has that look I really like, which is the spaghetti straps with kind of a ribbing. And so I think that can be really fun because, it will be stretchy and also fit your body really well with the ribbing. And of course, all of Jessie Mae's designs are just very inclusive, and I mean, there's over 4,000 projects on this on Ravelry, so I know you've seen it. if you've made one, let me know how you style it. I would be so interested in that. Okay, so talking about tank tops that have like spaghetti straps or thinner straps, I wanted to mention two that I like a lot. And I mean, who knows how many tank tops I will make this summer. I definitely have two. I definitely have a goal to make two, but this one is like, I should mention it maybe first because I love it a lot. And that is the Selkie Tank by Dragon Horde Designs. I'm actually really flabbergasted that there's only like 30 projects of this on Ravelry because it is like so cute. So it has like the thin straps, but the thing that the detail on it that I think makes it really cool is that there's this button band down the front. Now I did find a tank top design in a different weight and kind of a different style a little bit, but it had the buttons on the front from We Are Knitters, but it's not size inclusive and it's made out of DK weight yarn. And like, let me know how you feel about DK weight tank tops. Like, to me, it's like hard to wrap my head around knitting a summer garment that's DK weight. But if you have, let me know how that is. So this one, I think the pro to it is that there's several pros to it compared to the We Are Knitters version, but one is that it's in fingering weight, so you could do this in a cotton, you could do this with something that you have in your yarn collection. And then the other pro to it is that it is size inclusive. It goes all the way up to 69.5 inches. Now that's not the finished garment, that's the circumference of a bust. It includes, so almost includes a 70-inch bust. That's incredible. And so I'm a huge fan of the Selkie tank, and maybe I should give it some love this summer. Maybe I should try to get 3, because I mean, 31 projects on Ravelry, like this one should have like 3,000. The other tank top I want to talk about is the Escalante tank by Hannah Singleton. The other tank top I want to talk about is the Escalante tank by Hannah Singleton. Okay, spaghetti straps. This isn't spaghetti straps, it's spaghetti straps, because there's like 2 spaghetti straps. And that little detail, so cute. Just like it makes a little extra. It's got the V-neck. I think it's so cute. And it's like one of those tank tops that you could wear a tank top underneath it and it would look really cute with. And I just really like it a lot. And this one's also knit with DK. And I was just talking about that with the DK. But it looks very summery in these pictures. So I suppose you could find a DK that has a plant-based fiber in it, and so it wouldn't feel as like, I'm just imagining my DK wool sweaters. And it says that she recommends wearing this tank between 2 and 4 inches of negative ease. So I think that's really great, and sometimes negative ease can make me feel a little bit nervous, but if you don't want to knit something with negative ease, you don't have to either. Okay, we are going to talk halter tops, which I really hadn't thought about in terms of knit tank tops. They just weren't on my radar. I'm not a knit tank top expert. I've never made one. So they weren't on my radar, and then last week or the week before, I came across the Davenport camisole, which, side note, I have a code for a discount for this make along that we're doing. It's 25% off, and that's linked below. But my goodness, the Davenport camisole. So Samantha, who's the strict chick on Instagram, has incredible designs, but I had no idea about this halter top, and it looks so good. And she's styled it on its own, but also with like a cardigan over it, and so I think you could layer this too. She wrote, the Davenport camisole is a lace knit, well-tailored tank top with an applied I-cord edgings and deceptively simple lace details. I think what's fun about this tank top is that sometimes you're looking for that project that has the fun finishes and the fun details, and you get that with this. You get the lace, the I-cord. So it's one of those designs that has like the little something extra, which I think is really fun. And if you're into the halters and lace, there's another one that I think is, well, I'm on the fence on it. So it's like a halter-ish. It's not fully halter, but it doesn't fit into my other categories either. And that is the Guitar Top by Sari Nordland. And it's got a lot of the lace up top, which is different from the Davenport camisole. Like Davenport camisole has lace on the bottom, and so now this one has lace on the top if you're looking for that. And the rest of the Guitar Top seems to be pretty classic. One of the halters that you've maybe heard about because it has so many projects on Ravelry is the Breeze Racerback by Jessie Mae Designs. And I mean, of course, like her designs are incredible, so that's why there are so many. But I think the cool thing about this one is the way it's shown in the pictures is you can knit this and fade your yarn. So if you have like 2 or 3 skeins of yarn that like you think go together and you're like looking for a project, particularly those special hand-dyed ones or those speckled ones, this is like a time to let this shine and you could have some fun fading. I was thinking it could even be really fun to do scraps with this. I have some leftover stress knits skeins from 2 years of Advents, and I want to do something special with them someday, and I could totally see like really doing this scrappy or fading it. It's so good. Of course you can knit it in a singular color and that would look amazing too. So the other halter top I want to talk about, which again I'm sure you've seen, is the Ripple Halter, also by Jessie Mae Designs. And I really wanted to like put this one out in the universe because there's another kind of halter out there by My Favorite Knitwear, and that one is not size inclusive. And so I think if you're looking for like if you're feeling tempted to knit the My Favorite Knitwear, I would just encourage you to maybe check out this Ripple Halter by Jessie Mae. It has this, it's different than the Ripple. It's different than the one from My Favorite Knitwear in the sense of I think that the halter comes in even more. However, it's also ribbed and it's got a very chic, I think it might have more of a kind of a chic neckline coming up. And so yeah, I think that that would be a nice alternative. Okay, before we go, I think I'm going to grab some of my yarn and show you the yarns that I have for the tank tops I was talking about. I'm gonna go over my knitting plans with you and maybe get your advice. I am one of those knitters that has like 1,000 projects. And so I want to feel productive and finish things. So I'm going to just do one tank top at a time. But what tank top should I cast on first? So I'm going to show you my options. And I'd love to know if you're knitting a tank top this summer, which one you're doing. And also any advice for styling and or which ones I should start with. But I have this wonderful yarn. This is the Arkansas yarn. This is the Arkansas Yarn Company from their Sock Yarn Society, and this color is Friends Are the Rainbows After a Storm. And this is the Yummy Plush, which is 8515. It's super soft. It's gonna have nice speckles. So this will be the outline tank. I think it's gonna be really good, and I'm gonna love it. So very excited about that. That's new yarn. Yarn that I've had for a long time, since 2013, is this. It's been caked up since then too. And you can see it, I've even like, some of it's like a little bit kinky because I tore out a project. So this is Button Jar Blue. This is Tomato. And this is Paper. And they're Malintosh light colors. And like, this is the most perfect Moon Crush tank situation that there could be. I think I'll probably do this closer to my face. Yeah, and this one closer to the bottom maybe. So I think like that. So I ideally like to do both of them this summer, but which one first? So give me advice. Also, are you knitting a tank top this summer? Did you knit a tank top last summer? Let me know. Well, thanks so much for watching today. If you liked any of the knitting content, consider liking and subscribing, and make sure you're following me on Instagram, profpurl, if you want to know more about the tank top knit along. We're using the hashtag tankalong on Instagram. I also have a Ravelry chat thread, and I'm casting on a tank top on May 1st, and I'd love to be casting on a tank top with you. Let me know if you're joining along. Bye!